got the one and only Wally Moses, Shakur Stevenson's coach. Um, I want to say we got this fight coming up early in July with Artem, and like I said, it was a tough fight in his last fight with Frank Martin. Let's
Right.
start with that. I mean, what you think about that performance alone with Frank Martin and Artem? Who is Artem to you?
Well, he's a former Olympian, He's a guy that had a great performance against Frank Martin because you see, the fight could have went either way. If you watched it and I watched it, if it wasn't for him taking the knee, I don't know how it turned out. But I expect him to be a formidable opponent. And like I said, Shakur is looking to put on an excellent performance due to him being injured, and he's looking to show that he's fully recovered from his injury, and he's looking to have an outstanding performance as usual.
I mean, speaking to Shakur, he's been getting a lot of criticism of as far as he's a runner. In this fight right here, the odds are 3,500, minus
Right.
3,500. What type of
Mm.
Shakur Stevenson you think we're gonna get in this fight? And that same token, how is that hand too?
Well, let me say a few things about Shakur first. You know, Shakur, like a lot of people don't know about, a lot of these fighters' history and whatnot. But Shakur won his first world championship at age 13, 14 in Ukraine. And he defeated a previous world champion who represented Ukraine. Okay, so now he went on to win his next world champion. Now, when you win these world championships at your weight class, you're considered the best fighter in your weight class. Okay, and he went on to win the youth men's and the junior youth men's Olympic gold medal and all of those things. And those are some of the prestigious things in boxing. And don't let nobody fool you that when these kids come in the amateurs, right? And they start boxing. Don't let them fool you and tell you that their goal wasn't to become a Olympian or be one of the best amateur fighters in the country, because all of them were. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them know that they weren't. You know what I mean? Because they were beaten, and a lot of seen them get beaten. So, when it comes down to people looking at him and judging him. After he won that men's Olympic gold, he was voted AIBA Fighter of the Year. So when you win the AIBA Fighter of the Year and total boxing, that includes heavyweight, whatever weight you want, you consider the best fighter in the world. Right now, he's the only American male fighter to ever do that. Okay, so those accomplishments and those things, that he's been doing in terms of how people look at him, they must don't know boxing and haven't been boxing. Shakur is one of the most renowned international boxers around the world. You know what I'm saying? Other than the hype some of these fighters got, they're not known because they haven't really actually won around the world. And Shakur is one of the fighters that been fortunate enough to win around the world. You understand? So now Shakur, a lot of time, get on himself about it, and then I tell him it's not your problem because everybody gonna always have their own opinion about you. So you just keep doing what you're doing, and you keep winning. Hey, you can get mad at Shakur for winning all you want, but when all is said and done, we're going to see who the best fighter in the world is. That's his goal. And, I try to advocate to him and not to be in so much on social media, but he does, you know what I'm saying? So, the talk is going to always be there. And talk is just like everybody else, like an asshole. Everybody got one. So,
Ain't
you
that
know,
right?
I try to tell him don't listen to what they talk about. Don't let that shit bother him. You know what I mean? So what they really say out there don't matter because he know what he does and we know what everybody else done. Because if Shakur was to lose a fight in the amateurs, he wouldn't run and go to Mexico or something like that. He gonna go back and beat those fighters that he lost in the amateurs. You know what I mean? To prove that he's the best. Okay, just like any other time. And if it's not all said and done, and I'm pretty sure he may get tired of what everybody say about anybody else he fought and want to fight him again to prove a point. But like I say, that's old news. I tell him don't get into that. Don't worry about what's said. You keep doing what you're doing and let your destiny take care of itself.